Do your kids wake up like this? What if they woke up like this? And what if I told you that this starts with this? My friends, we have a crisis on our hands. Anxiety amongst children and teenagers is rising to pandemic proportions. And to solve it, we must first understand why it is happening. And here is the biggest culprit. Our kids are bombarded with over 4,000 messages a day, and each of those 4,000 imply one of three dangerous ideas that creates anxiety in our hearts and minds. And they are, other people are better than you, the world is a dangerous place, and you deserve cool stuff just because. Because of these three, kids are growing up not learning cause and effect, which leaves them feeling powerless and worthless and out of control, which we tend to think of as symptoms of anxiety. But as a psychotherapist for over 20 years, as a mom of anxious kids, and as a former sufferer, I've known them as causes of it. The first is social media's constant encouragement to compare ourselves to the ideal pictures that we see. We don't see the messy parts of our peers' lives, and that convinces us that they don't have any. Without context, these smiling people appear to just be born lucky rather than doing anything to get there. And the second is constant tragedy on the news that makes life on earth appear more and more dangerous, even though statistically it has never been safer. In media outlets, they share the scariest bits, making them seem totally random and out of control. You know, before TV, when there was a threat, we were present and we could use up our adrenaline responding to the situation. But now we see violence very far away, and there is nothing that we could do but helplessly replay it in our mind. And the third is marketing that touts you need this because it is cool and you deserve it. Listen, companies know that if you think you have to do something to buy something, you're not going to get it. And children under 18 are exposed to 1.5 million of these entitled ads a year. And then nobody gets anything just because. And disappointed kids, not understanding cause and effect, don't know why they can't get it, and they come up with their own false conclusion that they must not deserve it. But then they don't know what they did wrong, and so they don't know how to fix it. And this leaves them feeling helpless and powerless and out of control. You see that pattern? When you think of yourself as powerless, unable to do anything, you feel like you can't handle anything. And in an unsafe world, that is terrifying. With this constant message bombardment, everybody feels overwhelmed. But what do you think kids and teens do when they feel out of control? Yeah, they try to get in control, and they end up going down paths of what I call pseudo-power, because it feels like power, but it is fleeting, and so not ultimately satisfying. So a person has to keep desperately seeking and demanding it, yet they still feel anxious. Kids try to get control over themselves through substances or screens or cutting or eating, or most tragically, suicide. Or they try to get control over others by bullying or sex or shooting up a school. You know, when our kids are anxious, we are desperate to help, and we take things off their plates to ease their stress, unwittingly reinforcing that helplessness that keeps anxiety in power. But what if we did the opposite? Do you remember when you were young, your parents made you do chores? How many times did you hear, make your bed, clean your room, take out the trash? And generations before me did exponentially more than I did. And so I'm told, they walked 3 miles to school uphill both ways, right? I believe it. What if I told you that bringing back the household chore could actually calm our anxious kids? You see, when kids do chores, even if they grumble and groan, and they're gonna grumble and groan, it's doing something to their mind and their body and their spirit. It is teaching them that they are an agent in life, that they could take action, the cause, to make changes, handle challenges, and create good results, the effects. Chores empower kids to make the life they want, earning it through hard work and problem solving. Feeling empowered ultimately decreases anxiety, and that kind of power, it is real, it is tangible, and not fleeting. So, here are 3 kinds of chores that you could integrate into your household for maximum benefits. And the first kind are tedious chores, like vacuuming and dishes and laundry. Oh my. Listen, resistance to mundane tasks is natural, but it makes you feel like a victim and trapped and out of control. Luckily, doing these kind of tasks daily decreases that resistance when faced with them in the future, making life easier. And the second kind are challenging chores, like fixing a fence or babysitting or helping in your office. These help kids hone critical thinking skills when they need practice researching, developing ideas, and learning how to ask for help. And when the job's complete, there is a sense of accomplishment, improving self-worth and self-reliance. Now, the third kind of chores is my favorite. It's generous chores, where they contribute to other people. And this could be volunteering at a soup kitchen or just helping neighbors. These help kids feel good about themselves. When they see difficulties greater than their own, they appreciate their lives more. And they notice that even through hardship, people still express love and gratitude. And that experience reveals a safer, more hopeful world to live in. With these 3 kinds of chores, kids learn that they can make change where they see a problem and respond to life instead of being vulnerable victims of it. They believe in themselves, and that is the key to living happier. When I was young, I worked in the yard, made lunch, cleaned my grandma's attic, and scrubbed toilets, earning confidence that I could create good results in a challenge. And I cured my own anxiety. And now, no matter what comes my way, I trust my ability to figure things out. Trust. Trust is the opposite of anxiety. The more people trust themselves, the less anxiety they experience. And we raised our kids with chores. We tried. They didn't really mind sorting socks as toddlers, but they hated doing dishes as teenagers. Listen, kids' brains are evolutionarily designed to conserve calories, so of course they're going to resist. I made them do them anyway, because if I was going to be the meanest mom ever, at least I was going to earn that title. Having learned self-trust through chores, my kids step up to challenges now. My 26-year-old has invited his boss to coffee to share his fresh ideas. And my 18-year-old moved across country to teach himself to surf. And my 14-year-old, we're still working on her. Chores have been part of parenting since time immemorial. There was a lot to do to survive, and everyone had to pitch in. But in recent history, life has become so convenient that we all seem to do fewer chores. Unfortunately, we are facing a rapid growth of anxiety and depression, an opioid crisis, and mass shootings as people are trying to find some control in their lives. Let's give kids a sense of real and lasting control. Let's teach them cause and effect, to know that they are powerful, purposeful agents in their life who could do anything once they set their mind to it. Assign chores to yourself, to your children, to your grandchildren. Let that elbow grease build that confidence that could take down anxiety and raise kids to a calmer, happier life. Thank you.